Hey, I'm Kevin, and this is HFX by Bike, a channel all about getting around Halifax by bike. The universities are a daily destination for a lot of people, and I've gotten a viewer request for a trip from the Hydrostone neighborhood in North End Halifax to St. Mary's University in the South End, with the caveat that they'd like to see a scenic detour through Point Pleasant Park. I've been sitting on this one for a while because the bike infrastructure in downtown has been disrupted by construction in the Closeout district for the last year or so, but everything's open, so I'm good to go. As always, I'll be playing a game of +1 - 2 along the way. Every time I run into something that makes my trip safer or more convenient, I'll add a point, and every time I run into something that makes it less safe or less convenient, I'll take 2 away. You can keep track of how I think the ride is going by looking at the heads-up display in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm starting out at the Sebastian back lane in Hydrostone. I'm very briefly on the North End bikeway before turning onto Duffus. These lanes are an extension off of the somewhat recently upgraded Devonshire lanes that I'll reach in a moment. The 5-way intersection at the top of Devonshire is a bit of a mess, but the extended lanes make it a bit less stressful to move through by bike. The painted crossrides could use a refresh though. These are the Devonshire protected bike lanes. They're going to take me down to Barrington Street. The lanes were upgraded from painted lanes about a year and a half ago and now include barriers to separate you from the traffic lane. Unfortunately, this isn't done consistently. There are sections where the lane gets sandwiched between the traffic and parking lanes, opening cyclists up to dooring risk. There's space for both the bike lane and parking, but this isn't the ideal way to combine them. The lane feeds directly onto the Barrington Greenway via this facilitated crossing. The wait to cross Barrington can be a bit long. This is the Barrington Greenway. It's a multi-use path and it's going to take me all the way to downtown. This is the new Cogswell district. You can bike through the roundabout at the base of Nora Bernard, but there's a bit of a catch, which I'll pause to briefly explain. The way that roundabouts work, basically anywhere that they're installed, is that motor vehicle traffic must yield to pedestrian and cyclist traffic at the crossing points. This one has a bonus sign indicating that bikes must yield to cars. So cars must yield to pedestrians in the crossing, but not to bikes? Do drivers know that? If they don't know that, then how is it going to help traffic flow? I'm assuming that's the goal because otherwise I don't know why it would be set up this way. I would love to know the thought process behind this. This section of the Greenway is a new addition that came along with the new Cogswell district. This used to be open traffic. You can see the morning rush hour traffic off to my right. The bike infrastructure lets me entirely skip traffic. The bike lane across the intersection for me stems from Lower Water Street and it's northbound only. I'm heading south, so I need to complete a 2-stage crossing from the Greenway onto the Hollis Street lane. This is a tow-away zone. Don't park in the tow-away zone. This is the Hollis Street protected bike lane. It's going to let me travel straight through downtown Halifax. The elevated ramps are a decent way of accommodating both traffic and bikes in the same place, at least for an interim build. I've taken the left towards the port in the last few videos I've been through this area, so I think I'll show off the Hollis Street lane extensions and run up to Barrington. That's the end of the bike lane. I'm going to be on Barrington for a little bit. I was in one form of bike infrastructure or another for 5.5 kilometers, so here are the bonus points. If I kept going up Barrington to Inglis, I'd be at Smew in about 90 seconds, but I was asked to make a scenic detour through Point Pleasant Park, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. This tunnel will connect me to the ports, which lead to the park. Just whose idea was this detour anyways? They probably arranged this. This is Point Pleasant Park at the southernmost edge of the Halifax Peninsula. It's pretty quiet right now since the workday is going to be kicking off soon, but on weekends it's teeming with people. I'll be on Tower Road briefly, which is technically a major road, although this section doesn't feel like one. There's a ton of bike parking on site, although it looks like they might need more. My trip from the Hydrostone neighborhood in the North End of Halifax to St. Mary's University in the South End took about 35 minutes, although with the scenic detour through Point Pleasant Park, it would have been closer to 19 minutes. This is comparable or somewhat faster than making the same trip by car, and about a third faster than taking the bus. Almost the entire trip was made on separated bike infrastructure or low traffic streets, with there only being a few blocks worth of travel time on major roads without any bike infrastructure at all. Any trip to Smew is going to have a gap of roughly that size regardless of which approach you take. I think this kind of trip is doable by most people, even with that. That's it for this one. Let me know what kind of trips around the city that you'd like to see covered or local businesses that I should visit by going to the video request map linked in the description. And if you like this kind of thing, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos all about getting around Halifax by bike. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.